Welcome to Rome. This is The Bittersweet Life with Katie Sewell and Tiffany Parks. Hello, this is The Bittersweet Life. I'm Katie Sewell. Today we offer you a little peek behind the curtain of what's happening in our bonus episodes over on the Patreon. This week, we take you inside the end of the school year party at Aurelio's elementary school. He's a third grader, and the final party was a dinner that didn't start until 7:30, and might have taken place in one of the loudest places on earth. Take a listen.
First of all, you asked me to capture some sound. I did capture some sound.
Oh, good.
At first I thought it's too loud. It was so loud. But because Italians are so loud. But I think it actually probably does pretty well capture the atmosphere. So we eventually sat down at around 9. So the reservation was 7:30. We sat down right before 9, and the kids, luckily, their food came out right away. Pizza and bruschetta, and it's a typical pizzeria. Food was actually very good, which is another bonus of Italy. It's like even at kids' places, the food is generally good. Our food showed up at 9:20.
Okay.
Dinner time for a kids' party is 9:20 apparently. And it was also very slow. It was what they call pizza nonstop for the adults. So basically, they just bring you as much pizza as you want, as much pizza as you can eat.
Okay.
Which, number one, means that it's going to be a long night, right? Because some people are going to, especially like the men, they can put it away, are going to be like, yeah, bring out more, bring out more, bring out more. But also, I discovered what I think is their sort of strategy with the nonstop pizza is like bring the pizzas out slowly. Because when you stop eating, your hunger starts to pass.
Sure.
I think that was their strategy, because it seemed like they bring out a pizza, great, and then we'd be waiting and waiting and waiting. And also the other annoying thing was the way the tables were set up. Even though it was outside, there was like behind the side of the table that I was sitting on, it was like one of those super long tables. There were like 40 people. So I'm at the adults table, Aurelio's at the kids table, and the side of the table I was sitting on, there were huge planters behind it all the way down. You basically couldn't get out.
Oh, geez.
Because you couldn't climb over them, because if you climbed over them, there were people sitting right on the other side. So you were kind of stuck there. So, and then, the kids got up, like the kids ate in 15 minutes or less, and they just got up and they went back to playing. And, you can see some of the stuff, but you cannot see the whole entire place because it's very big. And so, I'm just like, I hope he wasn't kidnapped. I don't see him. I haven't seen him in 10 minutes. I hope he's okay. But it was nuts. And I finally decided to go and get him at about 11:20.
You can hear the rest of that episode and so many more right now over at patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life Podcast. For as little as $5 a month, you can listen in on stories and topics that we don't get to on the main show. That and live meetups, handwritten mail, so many more perks. You can read all about it there. Patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life Podcast. And the other good news is you get to support an independent show. A show that has no financial backing from any corporations or any big pod conglomerates. We depend on our listeners to keep this show going. And right now we have a goal of $1,000 a month. If we can count on you and other listeners to bring in $1,000 a month, will really help steady the show and let us hire the help that we need to keep it going. If we reach the $1,000 a month goal, you'll get to hear a special broadcast of the X-Files podcast, the EX-Files, a pilot show I created where two people who were once in a relationship together and aren't anymore share their views of what went right and what went wrong. And we see how their accounts lined up and how they didn't. The couple I interviewed are extraordinary and very insightful, and you will not believe the things that they disagree on. It's fascinating. Once we hit that $1,000 mark, we're going to release that over on the Patreon for members who support this show. Right now, we are under $900. We're getting close, but we're still under the $900 mark. There are a lot of you listening. We need just a few of you to listen to the call and take action. $5 a month or more will make it possible for this show to continue. Patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life Podcast. There are links in the show notes. Thank you to the 137 of you who are already supporting this show. And I can't wait to say hello to those of you who decide to become the newest supporter. Thanks.
Hi there, this is Scott from Broomfield, Colorado. Full disclosure, also first cousin to Katie, half of The Bittersweet Life. But I have been a voracious listener of The Bittersweet Life pretty much since it started. It's a really great podcast. I know it started out as kind of a travel-oriented podcast, but I love what it's evolved into and how it's a lot more about just life and culture and just so many other topics. I love Katie's journalism background and the amazing questions she asks and her curiosity. And then, of course, Tiffany with her just outstanding knowledge of not just Rome and Italy, but just European culture is such a good combination of people to listen to. Really great podcast for a Sunday afternoon meal prep session where it feels like these two were just having a conversation with you, sitting on the counter, prepping meals with you. Really great. Can't recommend prepping meals with them enough. Huge fan. I hope everyone is giving them money every month. That would be great. And I hope that its podcast goes on forever. Bye.